There are so many people going through some challenges, and unfortunately they cannot stand the challenges all by themselves. Because there are times in your life you will sit down and ask yourself, where are all the prophecies I've been receiving? Why has nothing happened yet? Sometimes you will ask yourself, I have been receiving prayer, I've been receiving prophecies, and I studied the word of God, I pay my tithes, I go to church, but why is it that I'm not still receiving any positive sign that I have been waiting on the Lord? And you can quote scriptures and you will say the Bible said that in the book of Isaiah, that those that wait upon the Lord, they shall mount up with wings as eagles. Why have you not been mounting up with your own wings as an eagle? Why are you still feeling like a pigeon? So sometimes you've got all these questions clocking up in your mind, and you need someone to give you answers. Sometimes you don't just know what to do, and you need someone to give you an answer. Sometimes if we don't talk to so many people, for many times I've been hearing a lot of stories of Christians all over the world. They're killing themselves. So many Christians are killing themselves, and so many even men of God, even pastors, even prophets, I've heard it all over the news. They kill themselves, they commit suicide. So sometimes you're asking yourself, where is God? How can there be God and Christians who have been believing in this God? How can Christians kill themselves? And sometimes you will be asking yourself, like, all these men of God, this pastor, this prophet who's been preaching the gospel, how come he killed himself? How did he kill himself? To let you know, a pastor can be encouraging you, but he is also going through a challenge, and he also needs somebody to encourage him. A man of God can be praying for you, but he's also got some problems, and he also needs someone to pray for him as well. That's why most men of God who have understood certain mysteries, they always look up to great men of God of higher grace, and they look up to them for prayers. Now you will not know, but by the grace of God, there are men of God who pray for me. And by the grace of God, there are men of God I pray for. And that is the love in the body of Christ. And that's the strength we get from each other. There are men of God who pray for me, and there are men of God that I pray for. Because it's all about grace. It's all about grace. So I just came here because I just want to talk to someone who needs to hear the voice of God. I just want to talk to someone. There are so many people going through so many things, and just because they don't trust anybody to reveal what they are going through, they kill themselves. If you realize or if you find out the causes, the main causes of death, of suicide all over the world, you will realize 90% of people who killed themselves, they were keeping secrets and they had no one to share. They were hurt and they were keeping deep hurts and they had nobody to share with them. Even family, even their parents, even best friends, they were afraid of revealing a couple of things that they were going through. So the only way is they just wanted to end it up. Lots of people only had to reveal what they were going through on pieces of papers, and then they died. How can a pen and a paper be the closest friends to a depressed person and not as human beings? You do not have to give up. It doesn't matter what you are passing through. Sometimes you need to know that you are not alone. Do you remember that the last words of Jesus Christ in the book of Matthew, he said, and lo, I am with you even till the end of time. I am with you even till the end of the age. And you remember Jesus Christ speaking in the Gospels. He said, in this world you will have tribulations, but cheer up, I have overcome the world. So Jesus already knew that you would be having challenges. Jesus already knew that he needed to remind you before you get to that level where you will want to feel like killing yourself. Jesus had spoken. He had said a long time ago that in this life, in this world, you will have tribulations. And then he said, cheer up, I have overcome the world. In other words, there is no need for you to kill yourself. There is no need for you to give up. Jesus had overcome. The Bible said in this world, you will have tribulations. Let me tell you, child of God, there is a difference between trials and tribulations. You know what I'm talking about? A trial is different from a tribulation. Oh my goodness. No, when you're having a very bad day, it's a trial. But when you're having a very bad life, it's a tribulation. Oh my goodness, how can I really make you understand what I'm talking about? A tribulation is a handful of trials that you cannot escape. That is a tribulation. When you're going through different kinds of trials, and no matter what you try to do, you still cannot escape any trial, that is a tribulation. So many people are not just going through trials, so many people are going through tribulations. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing me? So I came to remind you, Jesus speaking in the book of John chapter 16 verse 33. In the book of John chapter 16 verse 33, Jesus said, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. These things I have spoken unto you. These things I have spoken unto you. Take note of that. It said that in me ye might have peace. Are you seeing that? Jesus is telling us that we will have peace, not in the nightclub, not in the bar. We are not gonna get peace by smoking cigar. You won't get peace by trying to get drunk. You won't get peace by going to the nightclub. You won't get peace by going out to pick a lady and fornicate. You won't get peace. You know, there are so many people, when they have problems, they are trying to use certain things to solve themselves or calm down themselves. There are so many people, if they got a problem, they have to go get a girl, sleep with a girl. They have to go fornicate and commit adultery. There are so many people, if they have a problem, they need to drink alcohol till they can lose their mind and they feel the pain is gone. There are so many people, when they get a problem, they just want to smoke their life into the cigarette, and they think they will forget about it. But you know what? You can smoke as much as you want, as many packets of cigarettes as you want. You can smoke the biggest cigar in the whole world. You can drink all the drinks, the whiskey and the alcohol, whatever. You know what? At the end of all what you've done, the problem you were trying to run away from is still right there before your eyes. But Jesus gave us a very important solution. He said we are going to have troubles, but he said we will find peace only in him. So you will get peace of mind only in Jesus. You will get peace of mind only in Jesus. You won't find peace by smoking. So no matter what you're going through, stop smoking. You won't find peace by drinking alcohol and by consuming all kinds of whiskey. No, you won't find peace like that. You will harm yourself. You won't find peace like that. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You won't find peace like that. And if you think that going out to hang out with unbelievers or to hang around with prostitutes is going to give you a peace of mind, no, that is not peace. You're rather beginning another war. The peace is only in Jesus. So the Bible said, These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. The Bible said, look at this. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Oh my goodness. Do you know what is a tribulation? Child of God, tribulation is not the same thing as trials. Tribulation is when the whole world is going wrong. That's a tribulation. Have you ever been the kind of a person on going to your job site, your car breaks down, and while you are struggling to fix your car, they call you that your daughter just fell in school, your child just collapsed in school, and your car has just broken down. Now you are trying to run to school to check on your daughter, to carry her to the hospital, and then your car is broken, and then you take a taxi, and then on the way that you're rushing to meet your daughter who's collapsed already, the taxi is going so slow because of traffic. Because of traffic, the taxi can't reach there on time, and then you're struggling to catch up. And by the time you're reaching the hospital, they tell you, we are sorry, we did all we could, but we couldn't help. Your daughter just passed away. And just while you're carrying your dead daughter in your arms and you're trying to console yourself that God's time is the best, you just receive another information that your wife was informed about your daughter who just collapsed, and your wife just got a car and was rushing to the hospital, and your wife was involved in a ghastly car accident, and your wife just died. Now you're carrying your daughter who has passed away, and your wife is lying down. The remains of your wife are lying down on the road in a ghastly car accident. This is what I call tribulation. This is what I call tribulation. When your whole world is breaking apart, when your whole world is crumbling down, nothing seems to be okay, nobody seems to understand you, nothing seems to go rightly. All the prayers that you prayed, nothing seems to make sense anymore. This is what I call tribulation. This is what I call tribulation. And maybe at the time you're carrying your dead daughter, you want to leave from the hospital to rush and then see if you could try to save your wife or try to get her remains, and then somebody calls you and tells you that before your wife left the house, she heard the news that your daughter was in the hospital, and before she left the house, she was cooking, and the fire, she forgot the switch of the gas, and your house has just been burned. Now you lost a daughter, you lost a wife, and you lost a house in the same day. In the same day. That is what I call tribulation. That is what I call tribulation. Is there anybody here listening to me right now who has experienced a tribulation before? Do you know that many times God will prevent a tribulation, but He will allow trials? God can allow you to go through trials, but God will not allow you to go through a tribulation. Because if you go through a tribulation, you can die. It can kill you. Did you just understand what I explained to you right now? A man loses the daughter and loses the wife and loses a house within a space of few hours. Within a space of few hours, a man loses family and his home as well. Everything is gone. Where on earth is he supposed to start life all over? Do you know God will never allow you to go through a tribulation, but He can allow you to go through trials, because trials are meant to deepen your faith. Trials are meant to strengthen your faith. Trials are meant to make you depend on God. Trials are meant to help you focus on He who can deliver you and not on what is troubling you. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? There are some people who have experienced. Some of you listening to me right now, I guess you have seen situations where a man is driving with his entire family in the car, and they have a car accident, and the man loses 3 kids and his wife. Everybody dies, and the man is left alone with a handicapped situation, forever on the wheelchair, yet no wife to take care of him, yet no children to comfort him. That is a tribulation. That is a tribulation. Child of God, trials are different from tribulations. If you experience one tribulation, I swear you can almost turn your back on God. You can almost give a damn if there is anything called Jesus. But you know what? Jesus is always fighting for you. Jesus is always preventing that you won't get to that level. Jesus will always make sure that you don't get to that level. So you always have to be thankful. You always have to be grateful. There are so many people in the hospitals paying the doctor to cut off their legs, and you've got 2 legs and you are not thankful to God. There are women right now in the hospital paying the doctor to cut off their breast because of breast cancer, and you've got all your breast and you're crying to God for a baby and there is no baby. Child of God, stop worrying yourself. Have you realized the reason you're not able to sleep could be somebody's testimony? Child of God, this is why the Bible said in every situation give thanks to God. That is the key. The more you give thanks, the more you will never get to the point of tribulations. You can go through a trial, just give thanks. No matter your trials, just give thanks. You know why? Because if you're not giving thanks, the more trials that you have, you will soon get to the level of a tribulation. Are you hearing? Let nobody deceive you, child of God. Let nobody deceive you, child of God. I know you are going through trials and temptations. I know you are going through different kinds of hard times. I know you're going through different kinds of pain and anxiety. I know there are lots of things that are troubling your mind and your spirit. I know right now you're thinking, should you keep on with that relationship? Should you walk out of that marriage? I know right now you're asking yourself, are you going to keep on? Are you going to keep on trying to accommodate that abusive boss, that abusive director in the office? Are you going to keep on accommodating all these people that are looking down on you? I know there are lots of things going through your mind right now, and all you are thinking about is how to get out of these things. But let me tell you, child of God, a warrior walks through the war. A warrior doesn't back out of the war. A warrior faces the battle. Don't be a coward. God gives his greatest battles to his bravest soldiers. I said God gives his greatest battles. The greatest of all battles are given to the bravest of all soldiers. If you are going through something and you're feeling like giving up, I want to remind you, the reason you have been given that battle is because there is a brave anointing inside of you. But the enemy is making you act like a coward this evening, this night, this morning, this afternoon, or whatever time you're listening to me. I want to remind you there is something inside of you that can rise right now, and you will be able to overcome everything you are afraid of. You can overcome everything that you are afraid of. Yes, I'm talking to you. You're asking yourself, am I the one? You're talking to men of God. Yes, I'm talking to you. You can overcome. You can overcome. The Bible said, for you have not received the spirit of fear. You have not received the spirit of timidity, but of a sound mind and of power and authority. Where did this fear in you come from? It doesn't come from God. It doesn't come from the Lord. Anytime you feel like quitting, ask yourself, why did you begin the process? Do you know there are lots of people waiting to see you fail, and they will just say, I knew he will fail. I knew it. I knew this guy. He can't complete anything he begins. I want you to prove so many people wrong. Make up your mind that no matter what you pass through, you must make it. Make up your mind. You are an overcomer. Are you hearing me, child of God? You are an overcomer. Can you just speak to your own self and say, I am an overcomer? I am an overcomer. Wow.